She will not be.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience while we finished an executive session, getting some clarification on our agenda and some other matters, but our solicitor will speak to that. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Yeadon Borough legislative session, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Secretary, please proceed with roll call, beginning with our esteemed mayor.
Honorable Mayor Rowan Hepkins. Present. President Latoya Monroe.
Present.
Vice President Leanna Rocloud.
Present.
Counselor Nicole Beatty.
Present.
Counselor Antoinette Trueheart.
Present.
Counselor Michael Trent.
Present.
Counselor Jesse Peets.
Present.
Madam President, Counselor Loren Johnson will not be with us this evening. We have Sean Kilkenny from Kilkenny Law, our solicitor.
Present.
We have Nafis Nichols, our finance director.
Present.
Yolanda Hughes, our tax collector, is not with us this evening. And we have Megan Tadara with Pannoni Engineering.
All right, thank you very much. Before we proceed with our citizens forum, there are a few items on the agenda that need to be modified. So first, I'd like to entertain a motion to remove item 7C, consideration to approve resolution number 2025-007, that candidate has withdrawn their application. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. All right, let's proceed with the roll call vote.
President Monroe.
Yes.
Vice President Rocloud.
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart.
Yes.
Counselor Beatty.
Yes.
Counselor Trent.
Yes.
Counselor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up is to add an emergency declaration for the closure of Crozer Chester Medical Center and the impact that it could have on our community. Our mayor has the authority to do an emergency declaration. It was provided by our solicitor in the event that federal funds are available, but the mayor's declaration would only be in effect for a limited amount of time. So I'm asking council to add that onto the agenda so we can consider that motion under the mayor's report.
So moved. Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question, if I haven't explained enough. Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe.
Yes.
Vice President Rocloud.
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart.
Yes.
Counselor Beatty.
Yes.
Counselor Trent.
Yes.
Counselor Peets.
Yes.
All right, that vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up, we have our citizens forum. First, we have Mr. Kaoma. Ed Kaoma. Would you please come to the mic? Welcome to our legislative session. Seem to be a new face here, so I'll let you know that we have 3 minutes to speak.
All right, just keep pull up my notes. Yeah, the first concern I had with the concern the speed bumps in my neighborhood. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I live on the corner of Sorrel and Rondell. The Rondell Street tend to be literally a speed race, and I have 2 young children, and a lot of times people just kind of flying by consistently. And not just residents. Sometimes it was when the police have emergency call, they just, once they make that turn on Rondell, it's just like a speedway. So possibly if we can have some kind of either speed bump or stop sign on a wide intersection of Rondell and Yeadon. So that's kind of what I was asking for this first thing.
Okay.
Yep. Second thing I have on was the, I received a citation at home about branches hanging over the tree line in front of the street. And my assumption is those lines for Comcast. Is it possible that the county can actually contact Comcast to make sure they can take care of those branches hanging out as opposed to the residents calling Comcast one by one.
So in our ordinance, that is the resident's responsibility? So you would have to contact them.
But considering there's multiple trees around the neighborhoods, like, wouldn't it make sense for the county to actually contact Comcast to do it? I'm just curious.
If the trees are on your property, their overhang would be your responsibility.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see what else I got. How much time do I have? 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was here in the last hall meeting. That was my first time ever being resident here for about 18 years. It was the first time I showed up here last week. I heard you guys talking about business opportunities in the area. So I was just curious to know, do you welcome new businesses in the county?
So we absolutely do. We also have a newly established planning commission. Councilor Trueheart is the chair. And we also have a Yeadon Economic Development Corps. I will pass this information. I'm going to actually, okay, I see your email here and your phone number. So the first question was a little more complicated. So between the chief and our borough manager, someone will get back to you about the speed bump stop sign situation. It's a lot more complicated than you would imagine.
Yeah, the chief talked
okay. But they would be able to speak to you about that. And then I'll also pass on your information to our planning commission chair, and perhaps, now that you're involved, you can be involved. All right.
Yeah. I have some great point out, because Yeadon is a great location, but how are we selling it to the business to come to the area, and is that beneficial to the county to have businesses here? And if it is, what opportunity do we have that we are offering to businesses?
Absolutely.
So,
great questions.
I'll
Great
have some
discussion.
conversation with you.
Please.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. I think that wraps. Is that everything I had on the list?
Yep,
Okay.
that's everything.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Clara Johnson.
Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon.
First, I really want to thank the Public Works Director. She came on running. When I say running, I mean running. This lady came on running. On Monday this week, she met with me at Graceland and came up with some pretty good thoughts and ideas that it's going to go forth, I'm pretty sure. We had a meeting today at the old swim club. First time I've been on the inside. Thank you much. The other thing is I want to introduce the other people that actually stands with me with Graceland. So can you guys please stand, everyone that works with me with Graceland. Thank you. Susan Peters is another person that works with me. She's not here today, but I did tell her I was going to mention her name. We have a meeting with the director on the 30th of this month. We're moving forward. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Next up, we have consideration of the April 10th, 2025 caucus meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets,
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up for consideration is our April 17th, 2025 legislative meeting minutes.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, please proceed with our roll call vote.
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets,
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up is our mayor's report. Do you have any updates?
No, Madam President, my report stands as submitted in last week at caucus, but pursuant to adding to the agenda the emergency declaration, I do I think it was apropos to underscore the fact that with Chester Crozier and Chester Taylor closing, leaving us kind of bereft. As a matter of fact, my wife works at Mercy Fitzgerald, and she's saying that there's a lot of traffic going that way at Mercy Fitzgerald, and with also with Delaware County Memorial Hospital not really functional. Has caused a lot of stress in this area. So a lot of the Eastern Delaware County mayors and council have gotten together to declare a combined emergency declaration. And at this time, I'd like to ask the solicitor if do we have to vote on that?
Yes, I have it here.
Okay, you have the verbiage?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay. Now it's passed on to you.
All right, thank you very much. So first, I'm going to ask that we entertain a motion for a declaration of disaster emergency. If it's not approved, I'm sorry. If it's seconded, then I'll read the description. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question, I'll present the first paragraph of the declaration. It says, whereas on Monday, April 21st, 2025, Prospect Medical Holdings and its affiliates advised the public of its intended closure of the Crozier Hospital System beginning at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, and termination of emergency medical services, EMS, provided to communities and residents of Delaware County, including the borough of Yeadon. Whereas this closure threatens or causes substantial harm, hardship, and suffering to persons and properties, and threatens to endanger the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the borough of Yeadon. And whereas this closure threatens to create problems greater in scope than the borough of Yeadon may be able to resolve. And whereas emergency management measures are required to reduce the severity of this disaster and to protect the health, safety, and welfare of affected residents of Yeadon. Now, therefore, I, the undersigned mayor of the borough of Yeadon, pursuant to provisions in section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Service Code 35 PACS, as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in the borough of Yeadon. All right. Any additional questions or comments? All right. Can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquelot,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. We will have the mayor signify it, and this council has ratified it. So if anything is available federally because of this emergency declaration, we would be eligible for it. Thank you very much. Next up, we have our manager's report. You got it? Or?
Oh, go for it.
All right. Up for consideration is the termination of employee number 10228 effective May 21st, 2025. Is there a motion?
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded, considering this is a personnel matter, we will not have comments. Can we take a roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquelot,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
Up next is the consideration of the completion of the probationary period for employee 10277 effective immediately.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question, this feels incomplete to me. So we're approving the completion of the probationary period and then affording the additional rights that come with being a full-time employee, not on probation. Correct. All right.
The employee will be entitled to take time off, or benefits and things.
All right. Thank you. Can we proceed with our roll call vote?
Do we move it? Did we move it yet?
Yes.
Oh, I did miss that part. Sorry. Who moved it? Thank you. Second. Thank you, guys. President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquelot,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Up next is consideration of adopting ordinance number 2025-004, amending 220-70, abatement, impounding, and violations.
So moved.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Up next for consideration is the advertisement of ordinance number 2025-005, the adoption of the master fee schedule, repealing Chapter 150, Article 4, titled Fee Schedule.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Can we let the public know where this will be advertised?
Yes, this will be advertised. We're not changing any fees. We're keeping the fee schedule listed on the permit fees on under codes and ordinances. Same place where it's always been. It's just that we're just cleaning up some of the outdated ones that are listed throughout ordinances throughout E-Code 360.
So can we let the public know where it'll be advertised? Is it in a newspaper?
Oh, advertising the ordinance? Yes. I thought you meant on the website. I'm sorry. Yes, on the Daily Times.
Okay.
Yes. So, thank you.
All right. Next up, we have, I'm sorry, we need to take a vote.
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Up next for consideration, we have the advertisement of ordinance number 2025-008, tarps on public streets. Is there a motion? So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question?
Madam Chair,
Madam Vice President?
this was not included in our packet.
I have copies that give it to you now.
Please.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, this, all right, so I'll ask for a motion to table for the moment as we move on to our solicitor's report. Does anyone else have, I guess we can circulate that, but this is the ordinance that was discussed about tarping vehicles so that they disguise their license plates when they're out of compliance and on public streets.
It's limiting the duration, like we discussed at the committee, limiting the duration and aligning it to the 48 hours that the state recommendation is.
Okay. Okay.
And just further clarifying that police have the right of inspection with vehicles that are under a tarp on public streets.
Does that satisfy or you need more time?
Just one quick question. So this is limiting the amount of time that a car can be tarped on the public streets. Where are the time limitations?
48 hours?
And it's in here?
Yes.
Okay. You want to tell me which paragraph
Oh,
to save
sorry, I
time?
don't have it.
Man, because I'm just looking for the 48.
And Madam President, if I may, when management advertises the ordinances, it is just the top portion of it, but they are available for inspection here at the borough during that period for public comment before council takes its final action. The further answer your question from the last discussion.
So this motion would be to just advertise it, so we'll have that correction before advertising it.
It should be here, but I did not.
Right.
Yeah.
So advertise with the appropriate one advertised, not the one that you're seeing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right,
Okay, had to make that clear then.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
all right. Can we, are there any additional questions? We are going to advertise the correct one with the time limits.
Just to clarify, this is just to advertise, that's it.
Just
This
to
is just
advertise.
and next month.
Advertising means it'll be posted in the newspaper, presented to the public for inspection.
And then and we'll have another chance to vote on what we actually see.
Correct.
Another meeting.
Next
Okay.
month.
Yes, we would need to vote on the final
Right.
version after the advertisement. Okay. Can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
All right, that vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Thank you for catching it,
Thank you,
Vice
guys.
President Roquel. Next up, we have our solicitor's report.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Borough Council met in executive session this evening to discuss matters of personnel and real estate. Additionally, our office has worked with staff on the various ordinances you've had here tonight. And in relation to the master fee schedule, myself, Kyle Miller, who is the newer attorney assisting me, had a great conversation with Mr. Cade to talk about the master fee schedule, and in the future, perhaps looking at even more broader language where we'll make future changes by resolution, so we're not having to go ahead and advertise continually. We want to kind of clean up all the disparate parts of where the fees are in our various ordinances over time. So that's one of the projects that we're working on, so it'll be less confusing to council and the public. That concludes my report, unless anybody had any questions.
Thank you. Is there a tax collector's report?
You gonna talk about the executive?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Is there a tax collector's report?
It stands as submitted at the caucus.
Thank you. Under our engineer's report, we have two motions. Hi, Megan.
We have two motions. The first one is for a grant application for community park improvements through the DCD Greenway Trails Recreation Program. This would just be a approval to proceed with the resolution and application.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries.
The second item is a resolution in regards to the TA set-aside grant program. The borough needs to assign an individual person as the signee for the reimbursement agreement, and that we just want to assign the borough manager as that position as it, instead of the name. We had previously done one back in, I think it was November. However, this just sets it as the borough manager position. It's just a logistical error for the agreement to move forward.
Understood. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question.
Yes, Madam Chair. If just for information for everyone to say what TA stands for.
Transportation assistance set aside. Yeah, transportation assistance.
Yeah, because it's, we're used to all of the.
I know. I need to do better about spelling them all out. My apologies.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
Madam President,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Madam President Monroe, yes. Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty, Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
All right, that vote is unanimous. The motion carries.
Is there any other questions?
You know what we're gonna ask. Church and McDade.
So it is ongoing. Construction is almost complete. It will be completed in the next week or two. We are working with Public Works to get digital signs installed at the West Cobb's end to notify drivers that is a upcoming of a one-way as of an effective date. And that will be installed in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. And then I'm not sure if this is for you or Public Works, but anyone, feel free to chime in. I remember when they said they were doing the work on Bailey, I asked, were they replacing were they repaving with cement or were they repaving with the asphalt? And is the asphalt there temporary and then they'll come back and put the cement? Because I thought the answer before was that it would be cement.
I'm sorry, it's cement. Mike said he wants cement back and they were going to replace cement. The asphalt's just temporary because they still have to tie into the houses.
Got it.
So that's what Mike said. Eventually it's going to go back to actual cement.
Okay.
Not to be the engineer in the room, it's concrete, sorry. The cement is an ingredient. But my understanding is that project is going through like the fall is what I heard today. So that will probably be quite a bit of time before it's returned to, between the settlement and everything going on, that will probably be later in the year until that concrete is put back in.
Okay. So the asphalt is
Temporary.
And the
If they get concrete.
Thank you. You need to wear glasses so we believe you. All right. Thank you very much. Next up, we have consideration of the accounts payable list for May 2025.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up, we have consideration for the accounts payables additions list for May 2025.
So moved.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, Mr. Nichols, can you please explain the blemish on our report?
Yes, on your AP additions report, there is a sizable tax refund to Parkview Court because of a tax appeal that they filed and a judge ordered and awarded in their favor for years 2023 and 2024. So $209,000 that wasn't budgeted has to be refunded based off of that court order.
Right. So it's kind of, I would liken it to the reassessment that our homes underwent previously. I'm being facetious when I call it a blemish, but it was their right to do so, and there wasn't anything we could do to challenge it. The appeal was with the county, so we'll make it up because Mr. Nichols is very creative. So thank you. With that explanation, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. And last under finance is consideration of the April 2025 cash balance report.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question. Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty, Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Are there any updates for ordinance and zoning?
No, ma'am.
Public Works?
Thank you, President Monroe. We have a motion to approve resolution number 2025-006, the adoption of the Complete Streets Policy. That will help us with the SS4A grant application.
All right. Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Having been moved and properly seconded, you said this will help us with which grant?
SS4A, Safe Streets for All.
Safe Streets for All grant. We discussed it during our caucus meeting. Can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Absolutely.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Peets.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries.
Thank you. PICO seems to be going on time with their work. It looks like they stopped on Union today. So from what I can tell, they're making great progress heading off of Union. We had lots of cleanup after the storm this week. We had a tree down off of Raider, and our department took care of it promptly. And we intend to keep helping clean up after the storms as they come this season. For Graceland, as it was mentioned earlier, we're devising a plan to address immediate needs and more long-term needs. as they arise. And actually, I saw this today, the VA is opening up grants for the state to apply for cemeteries for veterans. So hopefully we can speak to our state representatives and hopefully we can apply for some funding as it trickles down when we get the chance. Those are due in July. So hopefully we see some of those funds. We can get that for Graceland. And thank you for passing that resolution for Complete Streets. We're working on the SS4A action plan with Pannoni. I spoke with them this morning. We intend to present and discuss those at the next public safety meeting and the next public works meeting. Another concern that brings up public safety and public works is an opportunity that we can collaborate with the Plan Commission on. It's for the redevelopment of the old Yeadon Swim Club. I know that's a concern for council. So we're devising a plan for more immediate needs and long-term needs, irrespective of the previous use of it as a storage or staging area, whatever that was. We'll see what we can do to clear up the weeds from the perimeter and make sure it's just safe and locked. We got new locks. And devising a long-term plan with the Plan Commission for redevelopment. Hopefully that would come from a grant as well. But otherwise, that's it for my report.
Is it? I thought you had some milestones.
Oh yes, I'll help. I'll happily share. In our department, we are celebrating this month 3 work anniversaries that are big milestones. Mr. Sean Murphy, he is celebrating 16 years of service to the borough. So I got him a sweet 16 sash, and he happily strutted. He's probably going to be embarrassed I mentioned that. And Mr. Oscar, he has been here 12 years. Another wonderful team member. And lastly, but not least, Mr. Arthur, he has been here 7 years. So we have a lot of really wonderful team members, and we celebrated today. I brought a cake, and they were very appreciative. That was actually right before we erected the flagpole. I forgot to mention that. Yay. So we erected the flagpole. Yes, thank you for their service.
Thank you.
And our next ones are in July and October, so I'll bring that up during that.
Perfect.
Thank you, President Monroe.
Pro tip, always end with something good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, with respect to the Yeadon Swim Club,
Yes, ma'am.
and I piggyback off of Ms. Clara Johnson. Ms. Houck has been very instrumental. She hit the ground running. She met with me at the Yeadon Swim Club property today, and I was very disappointed. There has been continuous dumping over there, mounds of debris, construction debris. I don't know when it got there, but it's there. I was told that new locks were purchased and placed on the gates. And there are no new locks. So someone did not tell me the truth. So
They're different locks than there were before.
I didn't pose a question.
Okay.
So I was very upset when I arrived at that property today. So I'm going to request that new locks be purchased and placed on that property immediately. I'm going to request that the construction debris, I was told that they knew who put the construction debris back there. I'm going to request that that company be called and have it removed immediately. And the other mounds of topsoil and things of that nature, I guess we're just going to kind of spread it out or clean it up or something so that that property can be less of an eyesore.
Absolutely. It sounds like Masuk has a plan. And we were told that the company was going to come back and retrieve that was just temporary. So you weren't here when that happened. It was several months ago, but we were told that the company that was doing work in the borough was temporarily storing it there. So It's time. No more free storage.
Yes.
We'll make sure that they come back and get it. And the locks are something that can be done immediately. I'm not sure if you mentioned that it already
did.
had been.
I did.
Okay, so yes, the locks are already there.
Or we're getting them.
Okay,
No,
they're
we're
already
getting
on the
it.
way.
I-
All right.
It
That's
doesn't
part
take
of the
long.
immediate
Gotcha.
plan
Mhm.
to address the concerns. Part of
All
it.
right.
And with weeding the perimeter.
All right.
I just wanted to say thank you for erecting the flagpole. I'm starting to get worried. We wouldn't have a flagpole for Flag Day, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have, we're under public safety, police.
Good evening, all. My report stands as read at caucus last week, both reports.
All right.
Any questions?
Emergency management, and is our
Yeah.
fire department here? Go ahead. I'm gonna tell them whatever you say about them.
You could tell them they're probably asleep. They're sleeping right now, so.
All right. Thank you. Are there any updates from the planning commission?
Report stands as submitted in caucus.
Thank you very much. Any updates from recreation?
Our report stands as submitted.
Do we have 17,000 track meets coming?
Just want to say, my report stands submitted, but I'd like to thank the residents for coming out last night. We had over 30 people in the rain for rain barrels. So we not only gave them barrels, but we gave them rain also. So we're going to thank the residents for coming out. We had a good time.
Thank you very much for organizing.
Any Flag Day?
Without further ado, can we entertain a motion to adjourn?
Salute.
Second.
This meeting is adjourned.
All right.